it's all in your heart. And once you live a more heartfelt life and can tap into gratitude and love, then that's when the financial wealth will come. Hello, I'm Jess Lohman, and tomorrow is the new moon in Taurus. And what does that mean for us? New moons in general are all about new beginnings, setting something up, or reconnecting with something that you've procrastinated about. And what this new moon brings is energy for setting intentions, getting things done, and also to feel a little more secure. Um, a lot of us have been working so hard lately on many different projects, and I think this new moon is really all about embracing gifts of confidence and surrender to be able to achieve empowerment and uncover the truth and accept transformation, also spiritual transformation. And so I'm not surprised who wanted to help us during this new moon. And what I do is I provide animal spirit guide readings. And so when I was thinking about the new moon in Taurus, I asked my guides from a card deck from Kelly Eckert. Here's the book, and it's called What's Your Spirit Animal? And I love this book. I love the meanings that Kelly put in here, and I love the cards because they're really big, and so I could shuffle them. And what I do is I ask who wants to help during any particular moon phase. And 2 weeks ago was the full moon in Scorpio, and that was like really intense. So who helped us? The bear and Ouroboros. That was pretty cool. Because the bear is all about chill. And anyway, so this time I asked about the new moon because I don't know if you're feeling it, but I'm feeling a lot of energy. I have so many ideas in my head, and they're like pew pew going all over the place. And but I know I have to focus, right? I have to focus on one thing at a time, even though I have a lot going on. But this really helps me. Animals really help me to figure out, what I need to focus on, what is the most important thing, and how to go about it, and sometimes also just to relax, right? Because I don't know about you, but I tend to overwork myself. So the 2 weeks ago with Barry telling me to just chill, that really helped me. And anyway, so this new moon, who showed up, this is perfect. The polar bear and the dragon. And yeah, so let's dig into these two wonderful animal spirit guides and find out what they have to offer us. Let's talk about the polar bear. Very dear to my heart. I'll say a lot about conservation in just a minute. But polar bears just they're wonderful animals, right? They're the largest of the 8 bear species, but what I didn't know before was that they were only recognized as as their own species in the late 1700s. So everybody thought, oh, it's just a white bear. But polar bears have so many other different characteristics. They are their own species. They're indigenous to the Arctic region, right? Has to be cold. And their habitat, they live in ice, they live in water, and now more on land. So not so much in big ice blocks on the water as they used to. What I didn't know was that only pregnant polar bears hibernate. The rest basically weather that harsh winter, and that's pretty interesting. And they spend about 50% of their time hunting for food. And food is getting scarce because their habitats are shrinking. The ice is shrinking. So, if they're like out in the middle of the ocean and their ice block under their feet disappears and they swim. They're excellent swimmers, though. Excellent swimmers. And I'll talk a little bit about that too, because that's also a way for us to kind of chill. And about their spiritual connection, the Inuits believe that polar bears accompany souls into their next destination, and they're an incredible guide in times of massive transitional change, especially with your spiritual journey. Um, yeah, who better than to guide us right now? And they also define the polar bear as the god Tornasuk, which is the master of the whales and the seals and the most powerful supernatural being in Greenland. Go figure. One thing about polar bears that everybody knows, they're becoming extinct, right? And the poster child of climate action is the polar bear, right? We see global warming. Their habitats are shrinking. They need to stand. They need to be on land or on a block of ice in order to hunt. Because seals are pretty fast, so they could pew pew pew. What it is about the polar bear is because he's white, he's camouflaged, so he sneaks up on seals. That's not too good for the seals, but that's how he hunts. That's how he gets his food, and he has like so much. I think like 8 centimeters of fat underneath his skin to keep him warm, and so he needs seal blubber basically, and it's getting harder for him to do it. The babies, the polar bear cubs, are getting set out too early because the mamas have to go and find food, and they're solitary animals, so they're leaving their children earlier than it used to be. But it's not just global warming. It's also threats about toxic pollution, disturbance of maternal dens. Leave them alone. Oil spills and overhunting of subpopulations. So obviously, humans once again are the predators and are driving this amazing species into extinction. If you want to help, there are many, many, many organizations that can help you. I can't list them all. I haven't worked with them all, so I can't really, suggest any particular one. What I would suggest is to, do some research and look for transparency in an organization. How will your money, if you want to donate money, how will your money be spent? That is very important. There's a lot of corruption in charity organizations as well. So we want to definitely, pick our organizations wisely, which is why I'm not going to specifically suggest any right now because I haven't worked with any. I work with other organizations, so I can suggest them, but particularly for the polar bear, not yet. Not yet. So what I would also suggest is to volunteer your time. That's the best way to get to know an organization from the inside and out, if you're able to. Sometimes you can do some things remotely, sometimes you can't. Depends upon where you live. What can we learn from the polar bear? One major thing is endurance, their perseverance, their adaptability, and energy conservation. I said earlier that they're wonderful swimmers. They can swim for a long time. In 2011, it was reported that one polar bear swam 426 miles in 9 days in search of food. How sad that is. But how they do that, you don't see polar bears like frantically swimming. No, every now and then they'll just, they'll move, but their paws like this, and you see their feet just kind of dragging in the water. They do use their feet, but only when they need to. Yeah, they conserve their energy like that, and that's how they can swim the distances. And also, they seem to understand what's going on, because they're seeing their habitats shrinking and all the ice melting. So they know, that they are in danger, but they endure, they persevere, this is the way it is. They stay the course. This is their life now, and this is the life of their cubs. And so they're not gonna, they're not in victim mode. They just are able to do what they need to do in order to survive until they can't do it anymore. But you know, they just don't think about it. They just go ahead and do it. And that's a perfect energy for this time because, we're starting new projects, or we're picking up a project that we procrastinated about, or, set aside. We're picking it back up during this time. And also, spring kind of helps with this, new energy. One good thing about their energy, when you're working in conservation, when you're working for animal rights, it's just, okay, don't let all the depression and all the stuff that's going around you get you down. They're saying, hey, boom, this is the way it is. Do something about it. Their job is to survive, so they're doing it. And our job is to protect them and other animals. So stay the course and do what needs to be done, because it doesn't help any animal to be in that depression mode and life's so hard for them, and getting all upset. And yeah, we have these emotions, and yeah, we should let them out, but we can't let them drive. We cannot let them take over what we want to achieve. So yeah, another thing that the polar bear gives us as a message and a gift is to call on your resources. Like I said earlier, a polar bear is like camouflaged. He has, dark bluish, blackish skin, and his fur is like whitish yellow, right? This is a lesson for us to use what nature gave us. And nature gave us, for instance, insight, intuition, the ability to communicate with animals and to be one in nature. Use this ability to be able to do what you need to do, if it's in animal rescue or any kind of social project that you have. Use your intuition and use what nature gave you, your love, your passion. Use that. And transformation and introspection. Now, when a typical bear hibernates, like I said, only pregnant polar bears hibernate, but when a bear hibernates, this is especially a pregnant polar bear. She goes in, right? She has life inside her body, and she goes within herself because she's transforming into a mother. She may already be a mother, but this is her time to go in and to, basically be one with her child. And, it can inspire you to look within yourself during any kind of transformation period. Because those are where the answers are, right? Polar bears are solitary animals, and they find the answers within themselves. They don't go looking externally for answers. They certainly don't ask us for answers. They know what's going on, but because they're able to look inside themselves, they know how to deal with things a little bit less dramatically. Then we come to the next gift: patience and peace. This is gonna, they are very peaceful. A threatened bear, any kind of bear, is a problem, right? But like I said 2 weeks ago, bears are very, very nurturing. They're very caring. They're very gentle. Just like the gorilla is also very gentle. But as soon as you threaten them, boom, they're not gentle anymore, right? With the polar bear, the seals, like I said, are the polar bear's favorite meal, and he sneaks up on that seal, right? He's using his camouflage, he's sneaking up, and the seal doesn't see him until it's too late sometimes. Same with alligator. You wait for the right moment, and that's what the polar bear does too. He doesn't just, try to hunt right away. He waits for the right moment, and then he springs on the seal. It's nature, right? So, and now, like I said, the polar bear does not blame the humans that he doesn't have enough food anymore, even though it is our fault. He knows how to adjust, and he's forgiving and still nurturing, and so that perfect symbol of peace and serenity. He just wants us to know that he is there. Polar bears are there. They are present. They are real, and they want to continue to be there, be on Earth. So he does have a message for us to do some things in order to help him. What I'm doing right now is I am setting up a page on my website, and it's going to be called Get Active, and I'm going to put some information about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and one of them is number 13, climate action. The other one is 14, life below water, so marine life, and the other one is 15, life on land. And I will give tips on how to help, how to make a contribution so that animals and humans, we are animals too, so that we can survive and thrive on this planet together as one unity, because we are nature. We're not only a part of nature, we are nature. Humans, any animal, every animal is nature. And this is a time that we really need to understand what this means. I mean, if COVID has taught us anything, it's to respect all animals, respect all life on Earth. We need animals, we need plants to survive on this planet. So Polar Bear's message right now is just coming to me and saying, we are here, you are here, we are one. Let's work together. Don't stress over it, but also, make the steps, know that we are here, and let us continue to live here. And one thing that they do show us is, to embrace acceptance and self-love. That will help us do the work that we need to do in order to create a better world. And also, like I said, they're solitary animals. So they're self-reliant, they're independent. They don't look externally for answers. Like I said, they look inside. And also to surrender, that's another message from them, is not to resist the conditions you have to live under. Conserve your energy, make the most of each situation, because you're going to be facing more situations later. Same thing with COVID. It's not over. It's not. I don't know if we're in the middle of it or if we're just in the beginning of it, but if we don't change the way we live, the way we produce products, the way we run businesses and corporations, like big business, and politics and all that, if we don't change things in our system, we're going to have way more worse things happening to us than COVID. We will. We don't, we understand global warming. We totally understand it. We know how to solve it. For me personally, I don't think that we can reach the goals that were set by the UN, by the Paris Agreement. We are not going to reach those goals by 2030 or by 2050 if we continue the way we're living. So everybody can do something small, but it's also a mindset. Like, we don't need all this stuff. We only need what we need. And like the polar bear, and any animal, they just live with what they need. They don't overhunt. They don't, do things in extremes like we do. And if we could just, listen and tune into them, do what you need to do when you need to do it, conserve your energy, conserve your excessive consumerism, and yeah, that's such a powerful message. If we can just take that and go through our day and say, do we really need this every time we want to buy something? Do we really need that new dress? Do we really need those new shoes or that new eye gadget? Do we, or can we use what we already have? Can we repurpose, reuse, recycle? Sure, most of the times we can. We can make new things out of old things. We can gift things to people in need, which, many of us, we do already. But this buying, right? That makes a difference in every animal's life and even our own. So if we can curb that, that would be wonderful. One thing that I learned is that the magnetic North Pole is massively migrating towards Russia, away from Canada, like quickly too. Like over the past 21 years in this century, the speed has increased from 10 kilometers per year to 50. That's like fast. That's super fast. And I mean, this is not, I read that this was not fully understood in the scientific world yet, like completely. But I mean, the magnetic poles, the fields, they're in constant movement. The poles are not stationary and they move independently of each other, right? And the polar bears are in the Arctic, right, on the north. And they're feeling this. Animals feel magnetic energy more so than we do, right? We really have to tune in, meditate, or whatever to be able to feel this. Animals have more intuition than human animals sometimes because we have somehow lost it through industrialization and commercialism and consumerism. We kind of, lost this internal gift. So we're trying to get it back, and it will take some time. But the polar bears are feeling it, and so polar bears are able to ground these energies from the magnetic fields, so that beings on Earth are able to prepare for the shift of a higher consciousness. And like I said, they're not interested in spending energy and time on blaming and shaming the humans for their situation right now. They are more concerned about soul awakenings for the benefit of all life on Earth. Even though they're solitary animals, they speak and live for the collective. And, they keep things in balance up there. So some questions we can ask ourselves is, how can I become more independent? How can I become more self-reliant? And how can I conserve my energy? How can I put the energy on the more important things in life, in my job, in my relationships? Where can I spend my energy wisely? And what do I need to focus on to allow myself to move into a higher consciousness? And what do I need to accept about myself? Going back to the self-love thing. And now some final words from Polar Bear. Polar Bear is the perfect guide when approached respectfully. Like, you can't just go, ooh, give me some signs, give me some answers, right? Any animal, really, you have to ask. You have to ask if they want to come down and help you in any particular situation. So If you're facing a dramatic transition in your life, especially when you're entering the next level of your soul, call in polar bear energy to help you go through this transformation. Perfect guide for a spiritual transformation. He is guiding you to adapt and surrender so that you can find peace and joy within the chaos and catastrophe, right? So call upon polar bear energy to receive the gift of encouragement and empowerment to find peace and calmness in this intense world right now, and swim as cool as polar bear in the sea of serenity. So that was polar bear. Isn't he beautiful? So, and now we will go to a dragon. Haha. Now, a dragon. I did not expect this, but yeah, he showed up and he wanted to show up. The one of the most legendary creatures and powerful totems. Dragon shows up in films, in poetry, in artwork, in books, with her many emotions and qualities, right? She is well respected and honored and equally feared and misunderstood. Dragon is not an easy animal spirit guide. She's not. She offers challenges and confrontations with every step of the way. It is up to you to use your strength and disrupt the inner voices that enable doubt to come into your life. I'm thinking like if you're in a state of self-sabotage and self-pity, if you're doubting something or have a lack of a love or something that's blocking you, Dragon may not be the easiest guide to help you right now, to help you through this time. You kind of have to be ready. You kind of have to be ready to metaphorically slay that dragon, so that you can benefit to the fullest. Now, obviously, you're not going to slay that dragon. You're going to embrace the dragon and bring her into your soul and ask critical questions so that you can move forward. It's like when you're ready to stand in front of the dragon, you are fearless, just like that dragon. You are full of courage and you are ready to face your fears so that you can move forward. And if you purposely call upon dragon, just be prepared for some obstacles, right? Life's never boring. So how can dragon help us with this new moon in Taurus? Basically, when I shuffle my cards, I don't pull cards. I don't like cut them in half and then take the first one. No, I want them to pop out of the deck. When I'm asking my questions, I want them to present themselves and say, hey, here, I am here. And that's exactly what Polar Bear and Dragon did, both of them. They came out basically together. When they come out together, they're a team, right? They're a team. They want to work together. And yeah, so let's find out what Dragon gives us. Magic, right? Complete magic. When the dragon shows up for you at any time, and that could be in a movie, it could be in a book, it could be a figurine, or it could just be an idea in your head that keeps on popping up, or in your dreams, right? This is a sign to tune into your psychic nature so that you can view the world with wonder and mystery. Yeah, and also peace, just like the polar bear, peace. A dragon invites you to look deep inside your soul so that you can unearth your true powers. And when you're able to do this, you will find peace because you will know what you need to be doing. And strength, obviously, a dragon is super, super, super strong. Just one flick of his tail, boom. A dragon is fearless, totally fearless. So that adds to her strength. And when she's fearless, then she's confident. And so that is strength too. So knowing your ability to conquer your enemies is strength. Now, one word about enemies, right? We don't want to have enemies in our lives. We may have critics, either on Twitter or wherever. Like on Twitter the other week, yeah, I got some critique because I'm against animal testing in the medical field, and some German animal testers were, back and forth, like, trying to start a fight with me on Twitter. And I'm like, guys, this is my opinion. This is also the opinion of, Doctors Against Animal Experiments. This is opinion of many other scientists. So deal with it. Animal testing is big business. It totally is. So that's why it's funded, and that's why animals continue to get tortured, so that we can have meds that really aren't safe for us. Animal testing is risky because, let's face it, we're not mice, we're not guinea pigs, or monkeys, or cats, or dogs. So, yeah. So, I don't consider these people on Twitter to be enemies. On the other hand, I need to look into myself before I just start tweeting, right? I don't want to be tweeting like Donald Trump did. No, I just mad, 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 mad. No. So I look inside myself. I answer with my heart and also with my brain. But I don't attack. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't help the animal community to attack anyway. I mean, animal rights activism is very, very, very stressful because not everybody agrees with it. Not everybody understands it. Some people believe that animals should not have rights, that we're still above nature, that we're the most important species. And so I always often have to look in my heart and write from my heart, and not from an aggression enemy front, right? So I can pull upon dragon strength and confidence and fearlessness to be able to do this, to be able to intelligently and empathically communicate with my enemies. So you can tap into this kind of energy anytime when you're in a confrontational situation. Look within yourself, look within your soul, within your heart, and speak from your heart. Another thing that dragon gives us is wisdom, right? I mean, if that wasn't wisdom right there, then I don't know what is. But sometimes it's like that fiery dragon energy is like a light igniting in us, like poof, and it may be perfect for this time to start that new project. Boom, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it right. So yeah, tap into that energy too. Mastery and balance. Dragon is the master of the elements: earth, air, fire, water. You have fire spitting dragons, you have water dragons, you have flying dragons, right? They basically all fly, I believe, and dragons that live in caves. They are the master of all elements, and so balancing these elements to their perfection, it can help us to master the physical realm in order to experience life to its fullest, to avoid avoidance, to face your fears head on, and to invite them in, but not letting them drive. So balance these elements and master them. And as with the polar bear, the dragon is a symbol of transformation as well. However, the dragon relates to a physical and emotional shifting. And this could mean changing jobs, moving to a new location, or just shifting your mindset to understand the misunderstood and look at things from a different perspective. This also has to do with the communication part. Like if you're just, battling it out with somebody on social media or in person, wherever, and not looking into yourself and trying to, come through with your heart. Yeah, another thing, understand the misunderstood. There are many times where miscommunication has challenged relationships or just caused some mighty horrible fights on social media. It's really, really weird how people react in social media. It's kind of like the same as in driving and like road rage, because you don't know that person in the other car. You don't know that person on the computer, on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. You don't know these people. So, you have that like distance between you. But basically we're all humans. We're all animals, and we all just basically want the same thing. We want to be able to thrive on this planet. And I think if we all come from a more heartfelt area, we can communicate respectfully, and we can then only begin to understand the misunderstood. And so when we are able to tune into the dragon and try to figure out what's going on in her life, why is she spitting fire, or why is Smog in the Lord of the Rings so horrible, right? Smog basically was lonely, right? He had all this wealth and richness, but he was lonely. And he was, he wasn't happy. He was very, yeah, mean and tricker. He's a trickster and just, manipulative, and even the treasure wasn't his. It didn't belong to him. He was, protecting it, but it was corrupt. The richness was corrupt. The wealth was corrupt. So a dragon's energy is also richness, but in a non-corruptive way, right? Also to tell us, hey, money is not corrupt. It's how we think about money that's corrupt. It's okay, maybe past experiences, we know these huge corporations who, or people in this world who earn like billions of dollars a month, and like still the world is not is not cured. We may have this mindset that money is dirty, that money is corrupt because of, of what it has done. But that's not the case. That's just your power of fear. That's your fear coming out. But money itself is clean, and you can do a lot of good with money. So, yeah, that's kind of a shift. We are rich. We are rich. We're able to watch YouTube. That means we're able to eat. We have a roof over our heads. We're doing okay. We're really doing okay. So, think of the richness as what you have and not material things, your relationships, your loved ones. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be saying, oh, I wish I had more money. Right? Not really. I wish I had more love in my life. I wish I, had a better relationship with that person. That's what you'll be saying at the end of the day. So let Dragon help you bring in that wealth, the more important wealth. And once you can embrace that, then, it's all in your heart. And once you live a more heartfelt life and can tap into gratitude and love, then that's when the financial wealth will come. So, questions to ask yourself. What are my hidden fears that I need to work through? Where is the magic inside me, and how can I truly unlock it? What is it I am truly grateful for? And how can I communicate more effectively so that I'm not misunderstood? So, and some final words from Dragon. When the essence of Dragon energy is awakened, you're curious, you're strong, you're visionary. You can start these new projects. And with Dragon as your spirit guide, you have the ability to manifest a higher intelligence and dignity. And perfect to start any new project. But you have to surrender, and you have to truly let her in and understand that there are obstacles that may come and confrontations, and you'll be asked many critical questions. So be prepared for that. Have the courage to face your dragon. And yeah, if dragon is your totem or your power animal, then you will be awarded with brilliance and enlightenment. Perfect. So listen to the teachings of dragon so that you can find the courage to express your views to be heard and understood. So that was it with polar bear and dragon for the new moon in Taurus, which, by the way, peaks at 2:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so in New York, where I was born and raised, or 8:59 p.m. Central European Time, so in Germany, where I'm now. So, yeah, enjoy this beautiful energy, let things unfold, surrender, and tap into polar bear energy, tap into dragon energy, whatever it is you need, and call upon them, ask them if they will help you. They will, and I hope this helps you. I will link to the full article in the bottom. And also, if you want your own personal animal spirit guide reading, just go ahead and also look at the link below and book a reading with me. It's a wonderful way to find out how you can move forward on any particular phase in your life. If it's for a project, if it's about your career, if it's about your relationships, anything, or if you're just curious. Sometimes it's just wonderful to know who's there. Now, animal spirit guides are with you temporarily for as long as you need them, right? You can also find out who your totem animals are, and they are with you for life. They are given to you at birth, which is amazing. And I can also share with you how to find out who your totem animals are. And usually people have more than one. And yeah, it's just an amazing way to, answer questions you may have or get confirmation that you're on the right path. So I'll put a link down below too, and let's connect. And I'd love to meet you, and I'd love to meet your animal spirit guides. Okay, that's it for now. Have a wonderful new moon experience, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.